does not sleep. It waits.
There's far more at stake here than just our lives.
In a world where every secret is a precious ring, the Rings of Power Season 2 just pulled out the one ring to rule them all. And you won't believe what it is. You thought you knew everything about Middle-earth? Think again. The Rings of Power Season 2 just unleashed a revelation so massive, it's like Mount Doom erupted with surprises. The
Evil does not sleep. It waits.
For all Middle-earth.
If Sauron.
wait is over, and the biggest bombshell of the year is here. The Rings of Power Season 2 is about to rewrite Middle-earth history with a reveal that will leave you shook. But before we jump into the heart of this mind-blowing reveal, do me a favor and smash the subscribe so you never miss out on the latest and greatest updates from our favorite fantasy universe. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. The second season of The Lord of the Rings. The Rings of Power TV show is based on J.R.R. Tolkien's book The Lord of the Rings. It's made by Amazon Studios and New Line Cinema, with help from the Tolkien estate. The show is set in the Second Age of Middle-earth, way before The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings stories. It talks about important events from that time. J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay are in charge. Amazon got the rights to make The Lord of the Rings TV series in 2017. They promised to make multiple seasons. The second season was confirmed in 2019. They started writing it during a break because of the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2021, Amazon said they would film in the United Kingdom instead of New Zealand for the second season. Filming started in October 2022, with directors Charlotte Brenstrom, Sanaa Hamri, and Louise Hooper. Many actors from the first season came back, and the composer Bear McCreary also returned. They filmed in Surrey, Berkshire, the Canary Islands, and finished in June 2023 during a writer's strike. The second season of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, will be on Prime Video in 2024. They finished making it in July. The season has 8 episodes and will bring back characters we know and introduce new ones. The story has different parts, and one of them is about finding Sauron's blood. There are lots of rumors going around about Season 2 of The Rings of Power. People are talking about new story details, characters, and even some surprising twists. It's always exciting to hear what might happen next in the series. We've simplified these rumors for you. Amazon now has more rights to stories from the Silmarillion. In the first scene of Season 2, ERU uses a secret flame to create Melkor. Melkor watches as ERU makes all the Valar and the Maiar. ERU is a voice without a body, kinda like a human but with no clear features. The secret flame is golden, just like the Valar and the Maiar. The Valar are bigger than the Maiar, all covered in a golden light, and they're naked, but filmed in a way that's not too revealing. In Season 2, Sauron will have 3 main actors. Sauron, called Mairon at this point, is not Halbrand or Anatar. After the 4th pause in the song, some Maiar, including Gandalf, talk about Melkor's issues. Gandalf is almost convinced to support Sauron's plan in this scene. Sauron gives a big speech about how the One has blessed him to see the potential of creations, and facing Melkor's issues will make them stronger.
And the shadow was spreading darkened to cover all the world. You need me.
I should have left you on the sea.
A sea that you were on because the elves cast you out. They cast you out for deigning to beg them for a few petty soldiers.
Sauron tells the dwarves he learned from Aule, and they welcome him. Sauron had a son killed by Adar. For horse fans, there's a special episode with little talking about the first Mearas, Felaroth, and the introduction of Shadowfax. Gandalf, Meteor Man, meets Shadowfax. An episode features Tom Bombadil and Goldberry, played by the same actors as Melkor Morgoth and Ungoliant from Episode 1. Bombadil and Goldberry are being punished by Mandos based on a long-held fan theory. The season ends with Sauron making the One Ring. In the finale of The Rings of Power Season 1, it turns out Halbrand is Sauron. So whenever we see Vickers now, he'll be playing the famous villain from The Lord of the Rings. Sadly, Lenny Henry's Sadok Burrows and the Mystics won't be back. Sadok died in Episode 8 during a battle between the Stranger, Harfoots, and the Mystics. The Stranger also wiped out the Mystics in the same fight. Next season, we expect to see Alex Tarrant as Valendil, Jeff Morel as Waldreg, Peter Mullen as King Durin III, Maxine Cunliffe as Vilma, and Thusitha Jayasundara as Malva. Vilma and Malva's appearances depend on whether the Harfoot community returns. Also, there's a change in the cast. Joseph Mall, who played Adar, is now replaced by Sam Hazeldine from Peaky Blinders. Moreover, 17 new actors have joined the cast, with 6 announced when Mall left, 8 more joining later, and some well-known faces from James Bond, Star Wars, and Harry Potter being added to the show. The plot of The Rings of Power Season 2 is mostly a mystery, but we can make some guesses based on what the cast and crew have said, along with hints from the Season 1 finale and J.R. Tolkien's writings. Now that Halbrand is revealed as the big villain, Vickers shared that he found out he was playing Sauron later in filming. It seems like Sauron will be a big focus in Middle-earth. Sauron is now in Mordor, making it his home base. Adar and his followers are already there, so we might see if they join forces with Sauron. Vickers mentioned he's excited to explore their complicated relationship, which we saw a bit of in Season 1, Episode 6. He said, "I really love that dynamic. These characters have a long history, so I'd be keen to explore that further and even build on it." Regarding the possibility of Sauron and Galadriel meeting again, Clark shared with Tech Radar, "I've always been fascinated by the part with Galadriel and the mirror in the Lord of the Rings movies. She can't move on until she's completely rejected it, because she senses temptation. Just a tiny bit because she knows it would be terrible. So, it would be interesting to see how she deals with a reunion." Vickers added, "I think the heart of their relationship is that there's no peace in being alone. Sauron eventually believes he'll find peace as a king, and Galadriel is the one who brought that out of him in Season 1. You can see it as him being sorry or tricking her in a way. He knows she's very useful, and can help him meet the right people and be in the right circles. Now that he's fooled her, and she hasn't told the elves about him, it would be fascinating to see how they would react if they met again. Not telling the elves about Sauron will cause trouble for Galadriel. Elrond knows she lied, discovering the royal lineage scroll in the Southlands, which Galadriel used to identify Halbrand in the last season's finale. Clark shared with Tech Radar that Galadriel may not think she made the right choice in keeping Sauron a secret. There will be consequences, and she realizes it was a risky and dangerous mistake. Looking forward to Season 2, Clark expressed excitement about spending more time with the elves and exploring Galadriel's elvish nature. She expects Galadriel to become more reclusive and secretive, turning into the Lady of Lothlorien. As for the rings, more will be created, including the One Ring. Vickers hinted at Sauron having a plan, possibly confirming the iconic ring's crafting. The show has played loosely with Tolkien's lore, and the creation of the rings for dwarves, men, and elves may deviate from the source material. Sauron, unable to return to a region, may craft the other rings himself, unless he disguises himself as Anatar to deceive Celebrimbor into making them. The identity of the stranger, one of the Istari, remains a big question. The Season 1 finale hinted at his true identity as a wizard, surprising even the cast. The stranger and Nori head to Rhûn, in Middle-earth's far eastern regions, to learn more about his name, past, and how to use his powers properly. Additionally, the fate of the Southlanders needs clarification. Season 1, Episode 7 revealed the Southlands become Mordor, after the explosive ending in Episode 6. Bronwyn mentioned that the remaining Southlanders would resettle in Pelargir, a city on the river Anduin that becomes Gondor's main port in the Third Age. Fans will be happy to know that The Rings of Power Season 2 will stick more closely to Tolkien's stories. Co-showrunner J.D. Payne assured The Hollywood Reporter that Season 2 has a canonical story, and viewers might feel like it's the story they were hoping for in Season 1. In the official Rings of Power podcast, Payne mentioned that Season 2 will involve a lot more of the original material they want to bring to life. This also means more significant battles from Tolkien's legendary works. Sanders, discussing the upcoming season, mentioned to Deadline that Season 2 will feature bigger battles, including iconic moments from the appendices and the books. Isildur actor Maxime Baldry mentioned there's a lot more action, so we can look forward to more intense battles similar to those in the later part of Season 1. What an epic journey it's been, and I hope you enjoyed exploring the twists, turns, and speculations with me. If you're as excited as I am for the upcoming season, hit that like button to stay in the loop for more Rings of Power content. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments. I love hearing your theories and ideas.